I'm Don Orsillo, and welcome to Red Sox Baseball. Well, Cliff Lee started the year with the Seattle Mariners, the most improved Seattle Mariners team that wanted to win the American League West. They got off to a tough start and then became sellers as they send Cliff Lee to Texas. Texas is now his home, and for Cliff Lee over the last few years, his career has been amazing. After kind of a slow start for him, he's really picked it up. Lee was 14-8 back in 2004, then followed that up with an 18-win season in 05, finishing fourth in the Cy Young vote. However, he would struggle in 07, ended up back in the minor leagues at one point. He was back in 2008, winning the Cy Young, collecting 22 wins along the way. Tonight, he makes his second start for the Rangers, fourth in the team in the past 2 seasons for him. Stops in Philadelphia, Seattle, after being traded from Cleveland at the deadline in 09. We asked him, what's it like to be in Texas?
It's a great opportunity. I mean, it's, going from a team that had high expectations in spring training with the Mariners, and, us not playing up to expectations. That's what happens. You get things like this happen, and it's a great opportunity for me to come to a team that's in first place and in a great position to make the postseason. And I hope it's fun. It's going to be a fun ride.
We welcome in Jerry Remy, and Jerry, losses in the first 2 games, and tonight the Red Sox have to deal with Cliff Lee, another ace.
Well, another tough challenge for the Boston Red Sox. I mean, Cliff Lee's one of the best left-handers in all of baseball. The numbers prove that so far this season. But the Red Sox have also faced other guys this year that are great pitchers and have done a very good job against them. And you start with Zach Greinke, 8 hits and 4 runs against him. He took the loss in that ball game. Roy Halladay, the Red Sox got to him this year, 8 hits and 7 runs. Jimenez out there in Colorado, remember we saw him, he was on fire. At that time, only lasted 5 2/3, gave up 10 hits against Boston. And Tim Lincecum, they got him out of there after 3 innings. So every time the Red Sox have faced one of the great pitchers in the game this year, they have met the challenge. They hope to meet the challenge against tonight. Strong pitching matchup, lacking against Lee, and hopefully the Red Sox can have that same success they've had against other great pitchers so far this season.
Certainly looking for a victory tonight. It's needed badly. We're back with more from Fenway Park after this. beautiful summer night from the Back Bay of Boston. Fenway Park hosts Game 3 of the 4-game series between the Rangers and the Red Sox. Again, everybody, I'm Don Orsillo, and welcome back inside the broadcast booth. Injuries have been a hot topic all season long for the Red Sox. At one point, the Red Sox had 10 players on the disabled list. Well, the good news is they're starting to filter back. Tonight, it is Manny Del Carmen who returns to the Red Sox and is in the bullpen, available tonight. The injury report is brought to you by Fallon Community Health Plan with $400 fitness reimbursements. Fallon Community Health Plan always does more to keep your employees healthy. Contact your broker or go to fchp.org. Manny Del Carmen back from the DL, a 9-pitch scoreless inning for him in Portland on Thursday. Clay Buchholz is scheduled now to pitch against the Athletics. He pitched against the Syracuse, going 3 2/3, allowing 2 runs in his rehab. He last pitched for Boston back on June 26th. A lot of questions surrounding Mike Lowell. When will he play? Where is he? Terry Francona answered some of those questions today.
I think feels like he's ready to go. I think he thinks the shot will help. And, I understand his thinking. He probably only has so many shots left. Or, we don't want to shove too many of those in a joint, especially one that's damaged that much. So we'll get him going, play him in Pawtucket, hopefully enough, and, a little bit of a schedule, which we need to work out. I need to go see where they're playing and what time the games are and things like that. But try to get him maybe, 4, 5, 6 games under his belt.
Terry Francona was brought to you by Bigelow Tea, Terry Francona's green tea of choice. Well, tonight on the mound for the Red Sox is John Lackey. He tries to stop the Sox current skid, 9-5 on the year, but 11-12 in his career against Texas. Airlines, the New England Subaru dealers, Dunkin' Donuts, the New England Ford dealers, AT&T, Kia, and by Taco Bell. A beautiful night to start the night here at Fenway Park as the Red Sox have taken the field. Let's check out the visiting Texas Rangers starting 9. It's Elvis Andrus at shortstop who leads it off with Michael Young at third base batting second. Ian Kinsler at second base with Vladimir Guerrero, the DH. Josh Hamilton is in left with Nelson Cruz in right. Benji Molina last night hitting for the cycle does the catching. He bats 7th. Chris Davis is at first base batting 8th. And batting 9th and in center field is Julio Bourbon. On the mound for for the Red Sox, the Texan John Lackey, who makes his 19th start of the year. And his numbers against Texas are not spectacular. He's 11-12 with a 5.87 ERA, but his numbers on the year, 9-5 with the Red Sox, a .298 opponent batting average against John Lackey. Last time out against the Toronto Blue Jays, a loss as he worked 4 2/3 innings, giving up 8 hits and 7 runs, walking 6 and striking out only 2.
The Red Sox defense tonight will have Adrian Beltre at third base, Marco Scutero the shortstop, Bill Hall a second, and Kevin Youkilis the first baseman. Left to right, Donnell McDonald, Mike Cameron, and J.D. Drew, and Kevin Cash doing the catching for John Lackey.
So John Lackey ready to work as Elvis Andrus stands in on the right side, and the first pitch of this one is in there for strike 1, and we're underway. A warm night at Fenway Park as Sanders tilts a .274 average. Takes a look at strike 2. He is 0-2. Trying to grab that outside corner and can't at 94.
Elvis Anderson, a bit of a slump, 0 for his last 21.
John Lackey, 7-2 here at Fenway Park this year with a 4.45 ERA. He's 2-3 away from Fenway, so hoping that pitching here at Fenway will help his cause against the Texas team that, of course, he faced a lot in the American League West while pitching for the Angels. He's amassed a total of 23 decisions against the Texas Rangers, and again, he's been on the wrong end. His first start since the All-Star break. This is chopped left side to short. Scutero on the backhand. 1 down in the first. Well, the umpiring crew tonight. Bill Hahn has the play calling the balls and strikes. Gary Darling at first base. Bruce Dreckman at second base. And Paul Emmel is the umpire at third. Where available, this telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your television remote. Enjoy the game.
Buenas noches, amigos.
1 out in the first for Michael Young. He'll take strike 1. The key matchup is brought to you by New England Acura dealers. And Young against Lackey with, wow, 83 at bats. And it's .373. Sometimes we have small sample sizes, and then other times you get big ones, and that's a big one. Plenty of at bats and lots of success against Lackey.
Well, see these guys going against each other quite a bit in the American League West.
Lackey is not in the minority in that area, though. Michael Young has worn out a lot of good pitchers in his career. A very good hitter. 3-1 from Lackey. It's to short again. Hard hit on 2 hops to Scutero. Throw is good again. And there's 2 outs in the first.
A good sign for John Lackey. The first 2 outs of the ball game, both on the ground. And both to the shortstop, Marco Scutero.
2 down in the first inning for the Texas second baseman, Ian Kinsler. 305 average, 4 homers, and 31 runs batted in. Kinsler will take strike 1. As Lackey started off ahead of everybody so far. 9-game hitting streak for Kinsler coming in at 342 as grabs the corner, and it's 0-2.
Kinsler, another guy with good numbers against Lackey, 400 with 2 home runs.
A little bit high as they elevated 94 that time, and it's 1-2. Down and in, 2-2. Mentioned the 9-game hitting streak for Kinsler. If you stretch it out a little further, he's hit safely in 19 of the last 21 games, hitting at .378 of the last 21 games. 2-2 is away. That's a full count. Vladimir Guerrero waits on deck as the Rangers bat here in the first. To short on a hop and off the glove of Scudero. It'll make its way into left. Hard hit, and Scudero did the best he could. It's a base hit for Kinsler, and it comes with 2 outs and lots of action from Marco right out of the gate tonight.
Yeah, that's about 4 or 5 of those type of ground balls we've seen in this series where the ball just explodes right in front of the fielder and up off the glove. So Kinsler now with a 10-game hitting streak as he hits one by Scudero.
Hitting at .359 during that 10-gamer. He's aboard with 2 outs. Keep in mind, this first inning is where Texas done a lot of their damage. They scored 6 times in the first game of the series against Tim Wakefield. Last night able to gather 2 runs right out of the gate. And looking to do some 2-out first inning damage here. Former teammates going head-to-head here. And John Lackey and Vladimir Guerrero. Both of the Angels, of course. Guerrero, the DH, hitting at .325 and fouling it back. He's down 0-2.
Back-to-back fastballs from Lackey to start off Guerrero. And quickly ahead of him, no balls and 2 strikes. See if Guerrero will chase something out of the strike zone.
Guerrero with 76 RBIs, second only to Miguel Cabrera in the American League. Here goes Kinsler. The pitch is outside, and the ball dropped by Cash. Actually, no chance to get Kinsler. He got a pretty good jump and steals second base.
Picks up his 9th steal of the season, gets in scoring position. On the transfer, the ball dropped by Kevin Cash, and no chance after that to even make a throw to second base.
Cash in there again tonight for the Red Sox. Boston adding a 3rd catcher today in Dusty Brown. And it sounds like Dusty may get a start here tomorrow in the day game. As they elevate, and it's 2-2. There's Dusty Brown rejoining the Red Sox. He's been recalled. Part of the moves today, Red Sox activating Del Carmen, but also recalling Dusty Brown from the Pawtucket Red Sox. It designated Fernando Cabrera for assignment. As Guerrero strikes out, first K from Lackey, wraps up the top of the first inning. The Red Sox are coming up.
Well, Sox, I think.
Oh. Okay.
What? Something wrong?
I think we're okay. Texas does not score in the top of the first inning. Red Sox coming up in the bottom of the first inning, and they got to deal with Cliff Lee tonight, who Comes into his 15th start of the year between his time in Seattle and his time in Texas. At start number 2 in a Rangers uniform. He's 8-4 overall. 2.64 earned run average, and last time out a loss against the Orioles July the 10th. 9-inning effort, giving up 6 runs, no walks, and 2 strikeouts. So 0-1 with Texas, as he is ready to work here. And first pitch is outside, ball 1 to Marco Scutaro. Marco hitting at 278, 4 home runs and 28 runs batted in. This one lifted down the right field line over his crews to the dirt of the track to make the catch for the first out. Now the starting lineup is brought to you by New England Chevy dealers. Marco Scutaro at shortstop. Darnell McDonald back in there tonight in left field. David Ortiz is the DH with Kevin Youkilis at first base. Adrian Beltre at third base. J.D. Drew in right. Mike Cameron at center bats seventh. Bill Hall at second base eighth. And Kevin Cash does the catching. He bats ninth. 31-year-old Cliff Lee, left-hander, making his 15th appearance of the year as he misses for ball 1 to Darnell McDonald.
In his career against Red Sox teams, Cliff Lee has a 2-4 record.
Made his Texas debut last Saturday. 6-1 loss, a complete game loss against Baltimore. Went all 9 innings, giving him 9 hits and 6 runs. 95 pitches.
Excuse me, Donnie, leads the American League in complete games with 6.
It had been the first complete game for Texas since John Burkett had done it in '96. This one is in the air to left field. It's going to grab some wall. Hamilton will play to Karam as McDonald heads for second, and he gets there. A sliding wall ball double with 1 out in the first.
And we haven't seen a lot of Darnell McDonald recently, but we see some of them right now. He gets that cut fastball from Cliff Lee and plants it right up off that left field wall for the 1-out double. McDonald now with a 4-game hitting streak.
In scoring position, Red Sox are tired of watching the Rangers do damage in the first inning, trying to do some of their own tonight. 1 out, McDonald at second, and here's David Ortiz. 260, 18 home runs, and 57 runs batted in. I think of all the staggering numbers for Cliff Lee over the years, the one that jumps out at you this year is 91 strikeouts this season against just 6 walks. And that ratio is the best in the majors. He went 38 consecutive innings and 144 straight batters without issuing a walk from June 2nd through the 29th. So to say that he throws strikes is an understatement. As the league leaders are brought to you by Olympia Sports, the official sporting goods retailer of the New England Sports Network. And it gives you an idea about that strikeout to walk ratio, how good it is. I mean, Halladay at 6.74 is not a close second. 1-1 is in right center, in for a base hit. Darnell McDonald being waved around, a bobble in right center. Red Sox take a 1-0 lead.
Big Poppy picks up his 58th RBI of the season. Again, a cut fastball from Cliff Lee that drops out in front of Julio Borbon. A little bobble, but it didn't make any difference because McDonald was going to score anyway.
78 career RBIs for David Ortiz against Texas in 92 career games. Keeps it rolling along, and it is the Red Sox who strike first for the first time in this series. Kevin Youkilis will take strike 1 from Cliff Lee. Yuki at 295 with 18 homers and 57 runs batted in. He was 3 for 4 in the ball game last night with 2 doubles in the game. Marked the 7th time this year that he has had 3 hits in a game. Slaps it foul off to the right. It's 0-2. Red Sox starting today 6.5 games back of the New York Yankees in the American League East. And 3.5 back of Tampa Bay. The Rays have a 10-4 lead at Yankee Stadium today. They're in the 8th inning. As this one grounded foul. Adrian Beltre waiting on deck. 1 out in the first inning. Red Sox getting to Cliff Lee already for a run. 0-2 is in the left field, a base hit. The 2s will move up 90 feet to second. 3 straight hits for Boston, and it's 2 on with 1 out.
Looked like a changeup that time from Lee. Ball down in the zone, and Euclid right down there with it to pull it between third and short for the base hit. So Euclid, who came into the game with a 200 batting average against Lee, continues to be hot.
So first and second, 1 down, a run in. And Adrian Beltre, the batter. .332, 14 homers and 56 runs batted in. He is 6th in the American League in batting average as he takes strike 1 over the inside corner. Josh Hamilton is the league leader now, hitting at .347. That's him in the left field tonight for the Texas Rangers. He's moved ahead again of Miguel Cabrera to lead the league as Beltre grounds one towards second base. Kinsler to second for 1, on to first for 2. And Lee gets a big double play to get out of any further trouble. But the Red Sox do get a run and lead it 1-0 at the end of 1. Second inning from Fenway Park. John Lackey's got a lead to work with. It's 1-0 Boston. As the league leader in batting average, Josh Hamilton leads it off for Texas. A .47 average. One with a hefty average, a 22 home run mark. And 65 runs batted in. Hamilton moving from center to left field and leading it off here in the second inning as he fouls it off. A happy first from Noah. He's enjoying the ball game tonight and chewing on his fingers. Having a good time. 1-2, and again, Hamilton's bat goes flying in the crowd, but a nice stop by a gentleman about 4 or 5 rows deep. I'm going to get his hands on that to knock it down, and the youngster in front of him ends up with it, but Hamilton's having all kinds of trouble holding on to his bat the last couple of games.
Yeah, this has happened 3 times in the last couple of games to Josh Hamilton. More importantly, the strikeout on the curveball. So 2 strikeouts for Lackey tonight, both on curveballs. Guerrero and now Hamilton.
So 1 down here in the second inning. Nelson Cruz at 311. 11 home runs, 45 runs batted in. Five-game hitting streak for Cruz coming in, hitting at 400 over the last 5 games. Line into right field. An opposite field base hit for Cruz. And the second hit of the night for the Texas Rangers.
Well, last night, Benji Molina going for the cycle, and we'll take a look, first of all, at the ground ball up the middle. He goes to the opposite field. He goes deep for the home run. And now the triple that goes off Patterson's glove in center field. And Benji, of course, after this had to come out of the game with a tight quad, it looked like, but back in there tonight.
And that's good news for Texas after the cycle, and he's able to come back tonight. First pitch running is Cruz. This is up the middle, and it's Bill Hall, the second baseman, who's able to make the play. He comes across the bag and fields it on the left side of the infield, and then fires to first. Cruz had left with the pitch, so he gets second, but nice play by Hall, 2 down.
Yeah, the only reason Bill Hall can get to this is he was going to second base to cover the bag. With that runner off at first base, they were playing hit and run. And Hall has plenty of time to throw Molina around at first base.
So it is the second consecutive inning. The Rangers have had a runner in scoring position with 2 outs. They left Ian Kinsler there in the first inning when Guerrero struck out. See what Chris Davis does here in the second, as he takes strike 1 on the fastball. Davis at 206. No homers and 2 runs batted in since returning from Oklahoma City in 67 games at AAA for the Rangers. Nelson Cruz at second with 2 down. We're in the second inning. Ball 2, 2-1. This was hot at the time of his call up to Texas. 2 home runs, 11 RBIs in his last 6 games at Oklahoma City, and then got the call back to the majors again. Here's ball 3, 3-1.
Change up that time from Lackey. First change up he's featured tonight.
Julio Bourbon in center field tonight for Texas, batting 9th, waiting on deck. Downstairs, ball 4, and a walk allowed by Lackey. First that he has given up in the game.
Look up.
Heading for third and out. At third base is Nelson Cruz. Trying to catch the Red Sox napping. They were not. But it ends the inning strangely. Red Sox lead it 1-0. And Nelson Cruz trying to catch everybody napping, but he ends up running his way out of the inning, and the Rangers end the inning on that play at third base.
I think what he saw, Don, he was looking at Adrian Beltre. Beltre was quite a distance off the bag, so he felt like he could beat him to the bag, but it didn't happen.
Lookout calls from everywhere, from the dugout, from the booth as well. I don't know if Beltre heard you or not, or if Lackey heard you.
It brought me back to my playing days, because I'm looking at Cruz at second base, and I see him take off, and I'm yelling at Lackey, look out.
Got my attention as it's in there for strike two, and it's 0-2.
Terry Francona seeing the same thing.
The Red Sox get Cruz and end the inning. Take their 1-0 advantage to the bottom of the second. J.D. Drew with a count of 1-2. Drew, Cameron, and Hall to bat in the second inning. Drew loops one to shallow right center. Bourbon coming in, and he'll make the running catch. Hung up long enough for him to make the grab. Red Sox baseball on NESN is brought to you in part by Eastern Bank, the official bank of the Red Sox television network. Eastern Bank, the best team in banking. One out here in the second inning as Mike Cameron stands in. Cameron batting out of the number 7 spot and in center field. And a swing and a miss. And Cliff Lee appears to be finding his bearings here in the second inning. Red Sox with a pretty good opportunity to get to him in the first, and oftentimes if you don't get to him early, you may not get to him at all. And they had scored a run, had runners at first and second with one out when Adrian Beltre grounded into the inning-ending double play and got Lee out of trouble. You can imagine that he is pressing a tad after losing his first game in a Rangers uniform and wanting to impress his teammates so much, coming here, of course, with all the fanfare and the idea of winning the division kind of resting on his shoulders. On Washington's Rangers coming in with a 4.5 game lead atop the American League West. As Cameron is down on strikes, first K for Lee, and there's 2 down in the second inning.
Looks like it might have been a slider this time that picks up the strikeout against Mike Cameron. They were supposed to try to go back door, go away from Cameron with that, but ends up inside, and they pick up the strikeout anyway.
So 2 down in the inning, and Bill Hall the batter. 240 with 8 home runs and 25 runs batted in. As he takes strike 1 from Lee. And it's striking, it's 0-2. Hall was 0 for 4 in the ball game last night, 2 for 8 in the series against Texas. Pitch 25 for Lee. And Hall on a foul tip strikes out into the catcher's mitt. Back-to-back Ks for Lee. 1-2-3 second, a 1-0 Red Sox lead. Jerry?
Probably on the eastern port of the Maine, I would think.
That's a solid call. It's a very good point. It's the third inning. Julio Bourbon with a bunt bid to begin the inning.
Pretty much be sure it's not on the west part of Maine.
Or in the middle.
Or in the middle or south.
You know, Bourbon may have broke his bat. He double checks, did not. 0-1. 275, 3 homers, 25 runs batted in. Bourbon to be followed by Andrus and Young here in the third inning. Red Sox on top 1-0. This one fouled off. 0-2. Breaking ball fouled off to the left. Milwaukee losing his last 2 outings. Lost against Baltimore, going 7 1/3, giving up 4 runs. And last time out against Toronto, lasting 4 2/3, giving up 7 runs. There's a pop-up in the infield. Marco Scudero started back, now comes in and makes the catch for the first down of the inning.
Share your big idea of what you'd like to change in sports through the University of Rhode Island Big Idea Challenge. Visit NESN.com to submit your big idea, presented by the University of Rhode Island, the place for big ideas. That'd be interesting. I would see some of those responses.
We have some big ideas we could share, but keep them to ourselves probably. 1 out here in the third inning as Elvis Andrus stands in and takes strike 1.
I'd kind of like to see the NFL get away from the way they do overtime. It's a flip of a coin and it's over.
Aren't they doing something different now? In the playoffs at least? I think it's only playoffs.
What are they doing, like college? It's like the college idea.
Where you both get the ball. I think now the other team does get a chance. No longer sudden death. As to third, Beltre across for the out, 2 down.
How about baseball games being 5 innings?
That's a little too short. I would go with 7. Maybe about 7.
7 innings?
Yeah. You know what I'd like to see? It happened last night. If a pitcher makes the error, it becomes an unearned run. I think if the pitcher makes an error, because the pitcher made the error, it should be an earned run. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know if that's a big idea. I mean, we're trying to think big.
Small idea. It's not very big, but it's all I could think of. It could be big for me, and it could be big for pitching.
I'd like to see soccer played in like a hockey rink.
It'd be exciting, but dangerous.
We got about a 5.5, 6 hour flight tomorrow. We can think about some big ideas.
Contact URI right after that and let them know our thoughts. You ever been to URI?
Yes, I have.
Beautiful
as a matter
campus.
of fact. Yes, was it Kingston, isn't it?
Yes.
Yep.
Great state of Rhode Island. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Michael Young. 1 outside, 2-2.
Matter of fact, I've been to URI when I wasn't supposed to even be there.
Really?
Yeah, like I was in high school.
Trespassing? Were you asked to leave by security or, worse yet, campus police? You didn't do anything destructive, did you?
Oh, of course not. Nothing destructive.
Didn't draw in any buildings or anything?
Except to myself.
2-2 to Michael Young with 2 outs here in the third inning. Five innings, huh? That's pretty. You have a starter go 3 and then you get into the middle relief?
You get 4, you get 4, 3 out of the starter, you get 1 out of the setup guy and 1 out of the closer. And
so you'd start Beckett.
See you later.
And you'd have Bard pitch the 4th and Papelbon the 5th, and you'd be on your way home.
Send it right to TC.
Yeah. Kind of eliminates a lot of jobs for some of these guys if your scenario were to work. And Manny Del Carmen back, as you see there. This one is a one-hopper into the glove of Hall. And short right, he turns and makes a nice play to throw out Michael Young. Lackey has a clean 1-2-3 inning in the third. It's 1-0 Boston.
Sponsor the Red Sox Foundation, helping to address health needs in our communities.
Well, the Sox need to get well after dropping the first two games of this series. And this is chopped to third, and leaping in the air is Young. Off balance throw, and he gets cash. Nice play by Michael Young, the third baseman for the Rangers.
Yeah, that throw was by design. He had to leap high at third base. Coming down, he knew he was going to bounce it to first base. It's exactly what he does. He bounces it on one hop, and they record the out on Kevin Cash. Beautiful play there by Michael Young. Very athletic play. See that a lot on AstroTurf or the new field turf, where the infielders will bounce the ball to first base.
It's amazing how versatile he has been in his career and how he's adapted to each position move. So it was at second base. Alex Rodriguez leaves. They move him to short. And then move him again to third base. And every time he has made a move, he has played very well. He's always been able to hit. A nice defensive play at third base. One down here in the third. Marco Scutaro fouls it off, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, to have the arm strength to move from second base to then shortstop and then to third base, pretty impressive for Michael Young. Most second basemen don't have that kind of arm strength to make those switches to the other side of the infield.
Makes room for Elvis Andrus, who they were certainly excited about. And last two seasons, this one fouled off to the right. Out of play. It's 0-2. Andrus leading off every night for the Texas Rangers. Right now, scuffling at the plate. And 0-2 in the ball game tonight. Lee has retired 5 in a row. As Scutaro strikes out. It's the third strikeout for Lee, and there's 2 down. He's definitely in the groove now.
There's that cut fastball again from Lee, going down and in on Marco Scutaro. Not sure if it was a cutter, just a straight fastball. The way the catcher caught it, Molina, made it look like a cutter.
Two down in the third inning for Darnell McDonald, who doubled in the first inning and scored. A lone run of this contest. Red Sox on top 1-0. As McDonald fouls it off to the right now to play. Donald now, Ortiz next. There are 2 outs here in the 3rd inning. And a ground ball headed to Andrus at shortstop. Low throw, but dug out by Davis nicely at first, and it's a 1-2-3 3rd inning. Through 3, it is 1-0 Red Sox.
What a terrible sign behind home plate. Look at that.
There are so many signs being raised. Top of the 4th inning. Red Sox on top 1-0 as Ian Kinsler leads it off. And a swing and a miss. And a pitch up from John Lackey. Lackey enjoying a 1-2-3 3rd inning. It is Kinsler, Guerrero, and Hamilton out here in the 4th inning for the Rangers. And a pitch up 1-1. 7 home wins for John Lackey in 2010. He's tied with New York's Andy Pettit and Joel Pinheiro for the American League lead in home victories. Cardinals' Adam Wainwright, who has 9 home victories, is the leader in the majors. Lackey has enjoyed the friendly confines here at Fenway Park so far in his first year in a Red Sox uniform. 10 starts here at Fenway. This is his 11th. On the ground is Scudero, who's been very active at shortstop tonight. And 1 down here in the 4th inning and more ground ball outs.
Tough seat for a game. You could be a winner in the Caham Lucky Dog Contest. At every home game in July, Caham will give 1 lucky fan free Fenway Franks and 2 Players Club tickets to a future game. Look for the Cam Grill Cook at Fenway.
Elms College alumni from Chicopee, Massachusetts. They're here. Hello to you. A swing and a miss for Vladimir Guerrero. He struck out swinging in the 1st inning. 1 of 2 strikeouts for Lackey tonight. To right center on a line, and it'll fall in for a hit in front of J.D. Drew. Vladimir Guerrero has the 3rd hit for the Texas Rangers in the night. Breaks up a string of 4 in a row retired by Lackey.
Kevin Cash wanted the ball up and away. It was up, but it was out over the plate, and Guerrero takes it to the opposite field for the base hit. He is 6 for his last 11.
One out, Guerrero at first. He takes off. Hamilton takes a strike. The throw, and Guerrero is out at second base. Marco Scudero covers, and Cash throws out Guerrero, 2 down.
Well, Guerrero has 4 steals so far this season, but this will be the 4th time that he has been caught. That ball there in plenty of time. Scudero just applying the tag, and Guerrero must feel young or something the last couple of nights. He's been trying to take off a few times.
Trying to write checks that his legs are not cashing at the moment. Out towards left center, and this one will get back to the track on the wall as Hamilton is headed for second base, and he's got a double. Quickly into the gap out there, back by the 379 marker, a 2-out double.
Well, Hamilton continues his success against John Wacko. He gave you the numbers, 389 coming into the game with 3 home runs. He did strike him out in his first at bat. This time he takes an inside fastball and finds that gap in left center field. Now, where in the world did you come up with that one?
It was pretty good, I thought. It's not really original material. I've heard other people use it.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that came right off the top of your head.
But it applies because Cash is the catcher who threw him out.
Yeah, it's all,
it's all tied together. Tied together. It's like a big bow on it. Vladimir Guerrero's legs are writing checks that they cannot cash.
So you heard that somewhere before?
No, not that. I've heard that term before.
I've never heard it before.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I've heard it before. I'm excited to have used it in game.
So you're stealing it from somebody?
Well, no, not another announcer or anything. I've heard other people say it.
Oh, okay.
There are people that have written checks that they can't cash.
I do that all the time.
It's part of the second half, Jerry. I'm going to be mixing in a lot of new stuff.
We'll be looking forward to it
because
the ratings boost.
I mean, you get through the first half and you've used whatever you're going to use, but you got to save a lot of new stuff for the second half. It's like a pitcher second time through the lineup. We're going through the second part of the year, so a lot of stuff going to be mixed in. Just be ready. Two and one to Cruz as again Texas with a chance here. It's the 3rd inning of 4. They've had a runner in scoring position and 2 outs. They haven't been able to score previously. And a chance here for Cruz, who ran his way out of one of those innings, being thrown out at third base trying to catch Beltre napping. And kind of strangely ended the second inning. Mackey ready with a 2-2 pitch to Cruz. Tap foul, still 2-2. On the ground to second base. Hall's got it. Lackey's out of it again. 3.5 done from Fenway. Red Sox have a 1-0 lead.
Park, visit the Beth Israel Deaconess First Aid Stand behind Section 12. Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center is the official hospital of the Boston Red Sox. Visit them at bidmc.org.
For the proud parents, Brian Cicello, the great producer of the Boston Bruins, enjoying the ball game tonight and filling in for our producer, Russ Ken, tonight. As Brian Cicello, his parents are here and enjoying 1-0 Red Sox lead down to first. Chris Davis has got it. It's off to Cliff Lee, who covers for the out. And David Ortiz retired on one pitch here in the fourth inning. One down in the fourth inning for Kevin Youkilis. Youkilis singled in the first inning. He's got one of the 3 Red Sox hits on the night. Boston getting the game's only run in the first inning. And an RBI single by David Ortiz. For Youkilis to go the other way. Julio Bourbon, the center fielder, well over into right center. Youkilis pulls it to left instead, and back to make the catch is Josh Hamilton. A late lunge on the dirt of the track to make the catch out there in left field, 2 down.
Well, an absolute rocket right there by Youkilis, but Hamilton did a very good jump in left field and was able to take the extra bases away from Youkilis. Sinking line drive and sinking right into the glove of Hamilton.
Two down in the fourth inning, Adrian Beltre. Beltre takes strike one. He bounced into a 4-6-3 double play in the first inning. The Sox had first and second with 1 out, a chance to do more damage, but Beltre had the misfortune of grounding into that double play to end the inning. And that is what has started a pretty good string for Cliff Lee. This will be 10 outs in a row for Lee. And it's a 5-pitch, 1-2-3, fourth inning. We've played 4. It's 1-0 Boston.
Mobile from your smartphone for a handheld look at the news, scores, and live game blogs you expect from NESN. NESN.com/mobile is presented by Bob's Discount Furniture.
1-0 Red Sox on top of the Rangers as we head to the top half of the fifth inning. Benji Molina, who hit for the cycle here last night at Fenway Park. Chris Davis and Julio Bourbon. It's John Lackey, who's had 67 pitches through the first 4 innings. As Molina takes strike 1. He bounced out to the shortstop, Marco Scutaro. This is down the right field line towards the pole, and it is a foul ball. Very close down the line, but foul. Molina thought it may have wrapped its way around. It's time now for tonight's AT&T trivia question. Who was the only player to have 2 cycles while playing for the Red Sox? I'll have the answer for you a little bit later. You know the answer to that one?
I don't think I do.
Molina, Davis, and Bourbon to bat in this inning. Pitch 70 coming up for John Lackey.
Is Green involved in the answer?
I don't know the answer.
Oh, you don't know the answer either.
Back up the middle, but well placed was Hall. A step on the outfield grass. Benji Molina is retired. He was playing towards second base. 1 down. Red Sox baseball on NESN is brought to you in part by Eastern Bank, the official bank of the Red Sox television network. Eastern Bank, the best team in banking. Last night played through the raindrops after a hot day in Boston. Another warm one today, not nearly as humid, and so far very comfortable conditions. This is back up the middle. Scutaro sliding to get it, pops up and throws him out. Marco Scutaro has been extremely busy. His 5th assist of the night, and it is the 2nd out of the 5th inning.
We're seeing we're being treated to some fine defense so far in this game tonight. Scutaro, the latest, going to his left, sliding, popping up, and throwing him out at first base. Nice play by Scutaro, who has been very busy, and Lackey appreciates it.
Two down in the 5th. Julio Bourbon takes strike 1 from John Lackey. Bourbon popped out to the shortstop Marco Scutaro in the 3rd inning. That was the first start for Lackey against Texas since October of last year. Got a no decision, of course, with the Angels. He went 2 innings giving up 2 runs. This one is back at him on a hop. Flips to first to end the inning. It's an 8-pitch inning and all ground ball outs. John Lackey halfway through this one has a 1-0 lead. is here to help you and your community win. Reach Red Sox win this month. The Eastern Bank Charitable Foundation will donate $500 to the Boys and Girls Club of Metro West. Kick and dance.
Yeah, a lot of rhythm right there. No question about that, Donald.
J.D. Drew leads it off in the 5th. Ten in a row retired by Cliff Lee. It's Drew, Cameron, and Hall here in the 5th inning. One misses, 1-1. The Rays and Yankees have gone final from Yankee Stadium today in Tampa Bay into double figures in runs as they get 10 today, and they win 10-5 over New York. Red Sox dropping the first 2 games of this series against Texas, beginning the day 6.5 back of the New York Yankees in the East. Dealing with the West for a while, the 4-game series here against Texas, and then headed for 10 more games on the West Coast. Red Sox have 1 game left here tomorrow, and they head out to Oakland. John Lester waiting to get his first start of the second half. Will be here tomorrow against C.J. Wilson. There's a pop-up foul ground. Michael Young has room and puts it away for the first out of the 5th.
On Monday, join TC and Dennis Eckersley for 30 extra minutes of coverage before the Sox make their first stop to the West Coast trip in Oakland. It's Red Sox Monster Monday presented by BMW of Peabody, live at 8:30.
One down here in the 5th inning for Mike Cameron, who struck out swinging in the 2nd inning. 3 strikeouts for Cliff Lee. Had some first inning trouble, and really wasn't much trouble. He did give up 3 hits and a run, but got out of it on a double play ball. But since then has shut down the Red Sox completely, as he has retired 11 Red Sox in a row. Lee's career in the beginning of the telecast tonight, talking about really the middle portion being the toughest for him. A good start to the career, and then a tough 2007, and then coming back strong from 2008 through 2010. Struggled in 07 and ended up at one point back in the minor leagues after an 18-win season in 05. And winning the Cy Young in 08. Collecting 22 wins along the way. He broke in from 02 to 06. He was 49 and 28. And running into the trouble in 07. This one fouled off to the right. His second start of the Rangers tonight, and it is the 4th team in the past 2 years now that he has played with. After stops in Philadelphia and Seattle. And of course, being traded originally from the Cleveland Indians at the deadline in 2009. So he's been well traveled. Fly ball to left field, sending Josh Hamilton back to the warning track. At the wall, can't make the catch. To second base goes Mike Cameron. The scoreboard double with 1 out in the 5th breaks up a string of 11 in a row. Hamilton kept backing up thinking he had a chance and could not make the catch.
He was cruising back like he was going to make the play, and he just ran out of real estate. That wall jumped up on his back. Cameron didn't think he had enough of it. You could see the frustration on his face, but up goes Hamilton, and the ball actually hits his glove on the way down.
Eight hits in the last 5 games from Mike Cameron, who's been swinging a good bat. And he stands at second base with 1 out in the 5th inning for Bill Hall. Hall, a strikeout victim in the 2nd as he went swinging. A pickoff play at second, but just back is Cameron.
They almost had Cameron going the wrong way with his head down. See Cameron taking a few steps toward third base. Kinsler coming in from behind. They try the pickoff, but not quite in time.
Fouled off to the right, 1-1. Well, the deepest drive of the week is presented by Uno Chicago Grill, way deeper than pizza. On Thursday, Bill Hall hit his 8th home run of the season over the Green Monster and out onto Lansdowne Street. For Hall, it was his 2nd home run in 4 games, and the 8 home runs match his total from all of last season. Uno Chicago Grill, way deeper than pizza. That's with 1 out here, and Mike Cameron at second base. He's not had to work out of the stretch very much, and for the first time here since the first inning, and want to get on the same page with Benji Molina.
It's amazing when you mention the number of teams that Lee has been with. I bet he'd very much like to settle down with one team for a while. Get one of those nice big contracts and not have to move.
Well, Mike Maddox certainly glad to have him on the staff right now, even if it is for just the remainder of the season. The Rangers bettering their pitching staff that's done a nice job. And no question, better now. Frontline pitcher and Cliff Lee has 1 out in the 5th inning, trailing tonight 1-0, and has given up a double to Mike Cameron in the 5th. Inside, ball 2. Cash, number 9 man, waits on deck. This is the 10th career start and appearance against the Red Sox for Cliff Lee, going 2-4 with a 4.39 earned run average in 9 previous outings. First appearance here at Fenway Park since September 23rd of 2008. And at Fenway, he's 1-2 with a 5.79 in 4 career starts. His lone victory was back on May 12th of 2004. Much different pitcher now than he was then. 2-2 is strike 3 to Hall. 4th strikeout for Cliff Lee. Hall does not appreciate it. Bill Hahn ringing him up, and there's 2 down in the 5th.
Yeah, Bill Hall thought that ball was high and out of the zone. Take one more look on Amica. And Amica agrees with Bill Hall.
Second time Hall has struck out. There's 4 strikeouts for Lee, 2 down in the 5th. And Kevin Cash grounded out to third base in the 3rd inning, 0 for 1. Mentioned the Cy Young Award win for Cliff Lee back in 2008. He was 22-3 that year with a 2.54 earned run average in 31 starts. Comes the 4th pitcher to appear for the Texas Rangers after having won the award, joining Gaylord Perry, Ferguson Jenkins, and Sparky Lyle. Last year he was 14-13 between stops in Cleveland and Philadelphia. Last year logged a lot of innings, 231 and 2/3 innings. But in the postseason, it was outstanding. He was 4-0 with a 1.56 ERA. 5 starts for the Phillies. And there, he was strike 3 to Kevin Cash. Back-to-back Ks for Cliff Lee. We're through 5. Red Sox have a 1-0 lead.
If the Sox get a save, CVS Pharmacy will donate $500 to Children's Hospital Boston. CVS Pharmacy is the official pharmacy of the Boston Red Sox.
1-0. Red Sox on top of the Rangers. Top half of the 6th inning. That was the top of the Rangers order. Leads it off. It's Elvis Andrus. Andrus grounded out to short in the first, grounded out to third in the 3rd inning. Ten ground ball outs for John Lackey through the first 5 innings. Certainly a good sign. He's had 2 1-2-3 innings on the night. And there for a strike, and it's 2-2. He's about to throw his 80th pitch. And it's strike 3 to Andrus. He didn't like it. Didn't like strike 2. Didn't like strike 3 at all. And it's the 3rd strikeout for Lackey. 1 down.
He didn't like the hole at bat, but looked like a pretty good pitch down and away from Elvis Andrus. Good pitch by Lackey.
Michael Young to center field. Mike Cameron is there. And he makes the catch below the cap high. 2 down. Now the Red Sox have launched a series of new fan-friendly initiatives for the second half of the 2010 season. That's what's going on as the Red Sox provide more options for fans to enjoy new and improved entertainment, retail concessions, facilities at America's most beloved ballpark. Second half initiatives also include a series of special opportunities for fans to take photographs with Red Sox players, another chance for kids to run around the bases, and special pre- and in-game events. As we see today, of course, now open as of today, Wally's World here at Fenway Park.
Isn't that where the Griswolds went? To Wally's World?
Yes. I think this is a little different, but yes, that's where they went. It was closed.
It was closed. Rusty was not happy about it.
I believe they took the security guard hostage and went on all the rides, if I recall it correctly. Fouled off. 2 outs here in the 6th inning. It is 6 in a row now retired by Lackey. This one grounded foul. The pitching line is brought to you by Ace Ticket. 5 2/3, 4 hits, no runs, walk, and 3 strikeouts for John Lackey. 85 pitches deep into his outing. And it's been a good one tonight against a red-hot Texas Rangers offense. This is the first 2 nights of the series. Lackey has quieted them tonight through 5 2/3. In the dirt, and it's a full count now to Kinsler. Kinsler with a single in the 1st inning, stole second base, grounded out to shortstop in the 4th inning. He's got 1 of the 4 hits the Rangers possess tonight. Guerrero, who waits on deck, has 1 as well. Line towards center field, and Kinsler's got another base hit. It is cut off by Cameron quickly, but a 2-out single in the 2nd hit of the night for Ian Kinsler. It's time for an update, and here's Tom Caron, TC. All right, TC, thanks for the game break. With 2 outs here in the 6th inning, and Ian Kinsler at first base. Back to the bag is Kinsler.
Kinsler already with 1 steal tonight. Give him 9 total on the season.
Vlad Guerrero striking out in the 1st inning. He singled in the 4th, then tried to steal second base, but was caught stealing by Kevin Cash.
Guerrero was trying to get time that time from the umpire, Hahn, but he would not give it to him. Pitch ended up being a ball.
Pitch number 90 is fouled off, 1-1. Sure, I neglected to mention there's also a right field team store, a new in-park Red Sox team store.
I've seen that being built.
A Fenway Smokehouse. In addition to the kid-friendly offerings at Wally's World here at Fenway.
What is the smokehouse? Is it
Airmark is opening 2 new Fenway Smokehouse barbecue stands located on Yawkey Way and in the big concourse.
Smells good. Sounds good.
New stands featuring specialty barbecue offerings such as pulled pork sandwiches, barbecued beef sandwiches, refreshing beverages. And you'll be interested in this Silver Sox night. Red Sox having a night for Silver Sox, our senior fans. The 2-1. Up high, ball 3-1.
Why would you say that I would be interested
because
in that?
you're getting older in life.
I mean, I think it's a wonderful idea.
It's a great idea.
But am I silver? I'm already silver?
Well, you're not silver because of seasons. But anyway, as Guerrero walks on that night, 65 and older, the tickets, fans will be invited to enter the ballpark at 4 p.m. to watch batting practice, and it's all part of the initiatives for the 2nd half, and that's the Silver Sox night.
Well, I think that's a terrific idea if you're 65 and older. I really do. I don't think that that's a point quite yet. Heading in that direction.
2 outs in the inning, and all of a sudden, Texas has something going here. They have runners at 1st and 2nd as John Farrell makes his first visit of the night to John Lackey, and they're getting ready to deal with the league's best hitter at the moment, average-wise, Josh Hamilton.
Enter the Fiesta at Fenway sweepstakes, and you could be driving home from a game in a new 40-mile-per-gallon Ford Fiesta on July 30th, courtesy of New England Ford dealers. Visit Nesson.com/Ford for your chance to win.
2 down, 2 on. Hamilton has already doubled off Lackey. Did that last time. Lackey was able to strike him out in the 2nd inning. He's 1 for 2. Up high, ball one. Each ball comes out on the field, down in the right field corner. In there for a strike, and it's 1-1. Speaking of silver, Josh Hamilton, the Silver Slugger Award winner in 2008. Line into left center field, a base hit. Coming around from second base is Kinsler to tie the game at 1. Lackey gets 2 quick outs in the 6th inning, but a base hit, a walk, and another base hit. And the Rangers have tied the game 1-1.
Hamilton, it looked like got jammed a little bit on a high fastball that was inside, but he's able to line it up over the head of Marco Scudero for the base hit. So with 2 outs, a single by Kinsler, a walk to Guerrero, and now the base hit by Hamilton in a tie ball game.
Two on and 2 down, and Nelson Cruz, the batter, he is 1 for 2. I told you that Manny Del Carmen activated before the ball game and starting to warm it up now in the pen, at least limbering up right now and getting ready to throw. First action we've seen in the Boston pen tonight. Swing and a miss, 1-1, 93 on the fastball. Nelson Cruz, a single in the 2nd inning, grounded out to second base in the 4th. Jammed again, but blooped into center field, a base hit. From second base comes Guerrero. Throw goes to third, and safe there as a run scores. Had they been able to get Hamilton at third base, the run probably would not have scored. It would have been out number 3, but they don't get the runner at third base. The run does score as Guerrero comes around the 2nd run for Texas.
Yeah, 2 balls not exactly crushed right here by the Texas Rangers, but very effective. Again, muscling that ball on a center field. You'll see Cameron go to third base to try to get that tail runner, but the throw's up the line just a little bit up to the outfield side, and the run scores.
Well, the 3 through 6 hitters are 7 for 11 in the game tonight against John Lackey. They've done the damage here in this inning after 2 quick outs. They've scored twice, and the Rangers take the lead here in the 6th. 100 even pitches for Lackey. Here's 101. First toss to first, and Cruz back to the bag. Notice Hamilton at third base. Cruz crossed the diamond at first. And a 1-0 to Benji Molina. It's up and away, 2-0. Fouled off, and it's 2-1. It's time now for the answer to tonight's AT&T trivia question. Who's the only player to have 2 cycles while playing for the Red Sox? Answer is Bobby Doerr. Doerr had his first cycle May 17th of 44. His second came on May 13th of 47. 3 players in Major League history have had 3 cycles: Babe Herman, Bob Musial, and John Riley. Red Sox have had 21 cycles in team history. John Valentin was the last to do it back in 1996. And last night's cycle by Benji Molina was the 5th by an opponent at Fenway. Andre Thornton was the last for Cleveland in 1978. Jim King, Larry Doby, and Joe Gordon also hit for the cycle against the Red Sox at Fenway Park. Runner at first goes Cash with no throw. And to second base goes Cruz, and into scoring position with 2 outs.
Not only have the Rangers been swinging the bat well in this series, they've been very aggressive on the base paths also. When given the opportunity to steal, they have been doing that. Going first to third.
Garcia fouls it straight back. Yeah, it's 3-2 still. Texas is 4th in the American League in stolen bases coming into tonight's action. Hamilton at third, Cruz at second. The Rangers now on top. Molina grounds one to third. Beltre plants and throws. Low and nicely dug out by Youkilis for the out. The ends the inning, but Texas scores twice. Rangers take a 2-1 lead.
By Foxwoods.
Red Sox trailing for the first time in the game. Now down 2-1 with the Rangers getting a pair in the top half of the 6th inning off John Lackey. Cliff Lee working into the bottom of the 6th inning. Just 58 pitches so far thrown tonight by the Texas left-hander. And Lee at one point had retired 11 batters in a row before giving up a double to Mike Cameron in the 5th inning. But then he struck out Hall and Cash to end the inning. He's got 5 strikeouts and had to work the hardest pitch count wise in that 5th inning. Ready to go in the 6th inning, and it's the top of the Red Sox order. Marco Scutaro, Darnell McDonald, and David Ortiz to bat in the inning. Scutaro has flied out to right and struck out swinging. He is 0 for 2. There's Darnell McDonald waiting on deck. He's got one of the 4 Red Sox hits tonight. Red Sox now being out hit 7-4 in the game.
And 3 of those hits coming right in the 1st inning of Cliff Lee.
Cliff Lee has had 1 3-ball count all night and has not walked anybody in the game. There's 1-1 pitch to Scutaro. There's ball 2, 2-1. Strike, and it's 2-2 on the high side. 8-4 with a 2.64 earned run average for Lee. 0-1 in his Rangers career and his second start as a member of the Texas Rangers. This one fouled off, still 2-2.
Introducing Arborcoat exterior stain by Benjamin Moore, a revolutionary waterborne stain that outperforms the best oil-based stains on the market. Find Arborcoat at your local Benjamin Moore retailer.
On the ground right side, Kinsler ranging to his left and throwing out Marco Scutaro for the first down of the 6th inning. One down, and it brings up Darnell McDonald. They doubled in the first inning and scored. Grounded out to shortstop in the third, 1 for 2. (16 of 20 batters, first pitch strikes for Cliff Lee. There's strike 2. It's 0-2. Well, he has been ahead a lot tonight. McDonald fouls it off defensively, still 0-2. Ortiz waits on deck. A 1 for 2 night for David so far. And Cliff Lee has matched a career high with 6 complete games this season. And 6 complete games in 2009, most in the American League. He's third in the majors, only behind Roy Halladay, with 7 complete games for the Philadelphia Phillies. On the ground, a third, nicely picked to his left by Young, who spins and throws out Darnell McDonald. There's 2 outs in the 6th inning.
Immediately following the game tonight, it's W. Mason Extra Innings Live with TC and Tony Lee. They'll take a look at the best pitching in the American League right after the game on W. Mason Extra Innings Live.
2 outs here in the 6th inning, and here's Big Papi. He singled to center field in the first inning, grounded out in the 4th. His single produced the Red Sox only run of the night. Off the glove of Molina, and it's 1-1. And of course, Cliff Lee selected to the 2010 All-Star roster via the player voting, and pitched a scoreless 4th inning in Tuesday's 3-1 loss to the National League. There's ball 2, 2-1. Really just 6 pitches, 5 strikes to retire Martin Prado on a ground out, Albert Pujols on a strikeout, and Ryan Howard on a ground out. Made quick work of the National League in his inning of work. Second career All-Star nod. He had started the 2008 Midsummer Classic at Yankee Stadium. And 2 scoreless innings. Swinging a foul tip, 2-2. There's Kevin Youkilis waiting on deck with 2 outs here in the home half of the 6th inning. swing and a miss. Impressive stuff. He strikes out Ortiz, 6 Ks for Lee. 6 innings done. It's 2-1 Texas.
Right now, but big Red Sox fan, Don, watches a lot of our games and enjoying the game here tonight from Fenway Park.
He's been here a few times, yes?
Oh, yeah.
So we head to the top half of the 7th inning. 2-1 Texas on top. It is Chris Davis who leads it off against John Lackey, who's just through his 107th pitch of the night. And there is action behind him as the 1-0 misses. 2-0. That action is Daniel Bard. Red Sox trailing in this game 2-1. Lackey works into the 7th inning. Gave up 2 runs in the 6th inning. A 1-0 advantage into that 6th, but RBI single for Josh Hamilton, an RBI single for Nelson Cruz. And it's the Rangers who have a 1-run lead. Lackey is now above his average. Gets a strike in there, and it's 3-1. Jam, but flipped out to left. McDonald makes the catch basket style on a hooking liner that was coming back towards him for the first out of the inning.
Top flight European soccer comes to Fenway Park Wednesday, July 21st at 8 p.m. when Celtic Football Club of the Scottish Premier League will take on Sporting Club de Portugal from the Portuguese Liga in the Fenway Football Challenge. Tickets are on sale now at tickets.com/football at Fenway.
Little pop-up sent to back a short. Scudero makes the catch. Julio Bourbon on 1 pitch. He is out number 2 of the 7th inning. So 2 down and brings up Elvis Andrus. Andrus sold for 3 in the game, has grounded out to short, grounded out to third, and struck out looking. And there's strike 1. Andrus is hitless in his last 24 at-bats now. Down in the count, 0-2. He is 6 for his last 48. And soon the average drop from 296 down to 274. It's a ground ball back up the middle. Here's Scudero again on the run, and just in time to get Elvis Andrus. 1-2-3, 7th inning for John Lackey. It's 2-1. Rangers have the lead over the Red Sox.
When their menu features succulent lobster dishes to choose from, including lobster flatbread, lobster mac and cheese, and so much more. Uno, way deeper than pizza.
It's 2-1. The Texas Rangers have the lead over the Red Sox. We head to the bottom of the 7th inning. Kevin Youkilis leading it off for Boston. Adrian Beltre, J.D. Drew in the 7th inning. And strike one from Cliff Lee. He is in very good shape in his pitch department as he's thrown 75 pitches. Looking with the first batter of the 7th inning. Youkilis has got one of the 4 Boston hits in the game. On the ground to short this time. Andrus has got it. There's one down to the 7th. It's time for a Sports Desk preview with Cole Wright. Cole? Okay, Cole, thanks very much. Well, it's a tight one here tonight at Fenway Park. Red Sox had a 1-0 lead until the 6th inning. But Texas scores twice off John Lackey, and now the Red Sox dealing with it very much in check. Cliff Lee, and it is a pop-up in foul ground for Adrian Beltre. Down from first is Davis, and he makes the catch. There's 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Two down, 7 in a row retired by Lee, and it brings up J.D. Drew. In fact, the Red Sox have had just 1 hit and 1 base runner since the first inning. There's a double by Mike Cameron with 1 out in the 5th. So it is 18 out of 19 retired by Cliff Lee. For a strike, and it's 1-1. to center. Bourbon makes the catch as it almost hit the grass, but he just did make the grab. Ends the inning. Bard will be on when we come back to Fenway as we head to the 8th.
Again, as Clay Aiken and Ruben Studdard bring the Timeless Tour to MGM Grand at Foxwoods and perform live in concert August 7th at 8 p.m. For tickets, call 866-MGM-0609 or visit mgm@foxwoods.com.
8th inning back at Fenway Park, 2-1, Texas on top as it's a first pitch ball from Daniel Bard. Is this call to the bullpen is brought to you by New England Ford Dealers. And for Bard, his first appearance of the second half after the All-Star break. I saw him in Toronto. 42 appearances on the year, a 1.90 earned run average. And it's the heart of this Rangers order that he deals with. And he's got 45 strikeouts in 42 2/3 innings. Opponents only hitting at 158 against Bard. He leads the American League with 19 holds, only behind San Diego's Mike Adams and Luke Gregerson from San Diego for the Major League League. As this one fouled off to the right. And it's 2-1.
Now, John Lackey pitched a beautiful ball game tonight. You know, you look at that inning in the 6th inning when they gave up 2 runs and both coming with 2 outs, and neither one of those balls were exactly crushed that drove in the runs. Very nice outing by Lackey.
7 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. And as it works out, he's on the hook. As Young takes ball 3. Unfortunately, it's on a night when the Rangers have their ace, Cliff Lee, on the mound, and the Red Sox have been stymied by him ever since the first inning. Bard trying to keep this a 1-run deficit. It's outside, ball 4. He walks the first batter that he faces in the 8th.
Tomorrow at 12:30, it's Olympia Sports presents the Boston Globe Red Sox Game Day Live with TC and Peter Gammons. They'll look ahead to the 10-game West Coast road trip for the Sox. Tomorrow at 12:30, only on NESN.
Lead runner on and Michael Young. Ian Kinsler the batter. There's 2 hits in the game tonight and a stolen base. He scored a run. Both the hits are singles. Little bunt. Youkilis will make the catch and cannot apply the tag. Trying to turn it into a double play. The bunt by Kinsler in the air all the way to Youkilis at first base for the first out.
Yeah, it's a good thing Youkilis wasn't charging, or the ball might have gone over his head. pops off the bag, and there's that bunt. Popped right to Euclid. Gets back to first. Tries to tag it, but not quite in time.
One out, Kinsler at first base. Retired, and Young held on at first base by Euclid. Guerrero with a foul ball down the right field line. The line on Lackey again. 7 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs. He walked 2, struck out 3. 115 pitches for him, and the runs come in the 6th inning. RBI singles for Hamilton and Cruz. And he had been 5 shutout innings until giving up the 2 runs in the 6th, and then finished strong. He retired the last 4 Texas Rangers that he faced before departing at the end of 7 innings. Guerrero on the ground at third base. Beltre will go to second for 1, on to first for 2. Red Sox turn the double play, and then in the top of the 8th, it's 2-1 Rangers at the end of 7.5.
Chill Zone today and fill up on your absolute favorite fountain or frozen beverages for just 79 cents. Any size, any time. The Chill Zone only at Cumberland Farms.
Wrapping up Sweet Caroline here at Fenway Park as we head to the last half of the 8th inning. Pretty strong tonight. Hoping that the Red Sox can get to Cliff Lee in the 8th. It's been so good that they can't stop. Mike Cameron waiting for it to stop so he can get in the box. 80 pitches for Cliff Lee through 7 innings. Cameron, Hall, and Cash in the inning, and Cameron hits the fly ball to right field. Nelson Cruz makes the catch for the first out in the bottom of the 8th. Pitches. The run came in the first inning. 4 hits in 7 1/3 in this current stretch. He's retired 9 in a row. And the Red Sox have had just 1 base runner since the first inning, a 1-out double for Mike Cameron in the 5th. They had done virtually nothing with Cliff Lee since the first inning. Beach ball has come out onto the triangle area out in right center field. Saw Bard in the top of the 8th. Papelbon warming now in the pen. So Hall 0 for 2 against Lee tonight. He struck out swinging, struck out looking. It's a pop up into shallow right. Cruz coming in and puts it away. 2 down. Red Sox baseball on NESN is brought to you by Eastern Bank, awarded highest customer satisfaction in retail banking in the New England region by J.D. Power and Associates. It takes teamwork to bring home the trophy. Well, 2 down here in the 8th, and as we've seen the last couple of nights, late in the game, Kevin Cash hit 4, and it happens again. Ryan Shealy, who has gone 0 for 5 in his career with the Red Sox, will pinch hit here in the 8th with 2 down.
Well, you've seen a lot of Red Sox players swing at that first pitch. There's no reason to wait around because Lee doesn't walk anybody.
0 on the night tonight. And we gave you the numbers earlier. 91 strikeouts, 6 walks. Not likely to get one. A 1-0 to Shealy is in there for a strike. 1-1. This is down the right field line by Shealy. Cruz on the run will slide and make the catch. A nice sliding catch by Nelson Cruz, who makes all 3 putouts in right field. It's a 5-pitch inning and a 2-1 Rangers lead.
With TC and Tony Lee, they'll bring you highlights from the Yankees and the Rays down in the Bronx after the game, only on NESN.
9th inning back at Fenway Park as it is 2-1. The Texas Rangers have the lead. As we head to the 9th, totally new battery. Dusty Brown into the game, as mentioned, he'd been recalled today. And in there after Kevin Cash had been hit for. Brown is catching the new Red Sox pitcher, Jonathan Papelbon. 36th appearance, a 3-4 record, 3.50 ERA. 20 out of 23 in save opportunities. Obviously not one here. Trying to keep this a 1-run deficit as he works in the 9th in his first appearance of the second half of the year. Last worked at Toronto, going an inning, giving up a hit back on the 11th of July, so 6 days ago. Hamilton leads it off and takes ball one inside. Daniel Bard working the eighth. Gave up a walk. Get Kinsler to pop out. Then get Guerrero to ground into the 5-4-3 double play. So a pretty quick inning for Bard and his first work of the second half in the eighth. It's a strike over the outside corner, 1-1. Appelbaum in that last outing earned his 20th save, a scoreless ninth inning. Back on the 11th at Toronto. 20 saves are tied for fifth in the American League. And foul, and it's 1-2 to Hamilton. 96 that time on the fastball from Appelbaum. Hamilton now, Cruz next, and then Benji Molina scheduled to bat in the top of the ninth as the Rangers look to obtain some insurance. One-two is fouled off to the left. Texas taking the first two games of this series. 7-2 and 8-4. And ahead here in game three, 2-1 as they bat in the top of the ninth. The Red Sox have the top of their order, Scudero, McDonald, and Ortiz expected in the bottom of the ninth inning. And Cliff Lee has only thrown 85 pitches through the first 8 innings. Hamilton jackknifing out of the way, 2-2. So he has done it economically through the first 8 innings and making a bid for yet another complete game. He had one in his first chance as a Texas Ranger and could become the third pitcher to toss consecutive complete games in his first 2 starts in a Rangers uniform since Fergie Jenkins in '74. 2-2 is on 2 hops to first. Euclid to Appelbaum. 1 out in the ninth.
In one of the best sports sections in the country, delivered to your home every day. Sign up now for convenient Boston Globe home delivery. Call 888-MY-GLOBE or go to bostonglobe.com/sports.
One out in the ninth inning. Nelson Cruz, 2 for 3 in the game with an RBI. He was part of that 6th inning in which the Rangers scored their 2 runs off John Lackey. And it was his single to center, which was the difference in the game. It scored Vladimir Guerrero. And there for strike one. Cruz in the air to short left. Scudero out, McDonald in. And Darnell McDonald will make the catch for the second out. There's 2 outs in the ninth.
Red Sox fans make your way to Fenway Park this July and August with the summer double play packs. They're a great summer weekend game with a summer weeknight game at America's most beloved ballpark. Visit redsox.com/double play to get your packs today.
2 down in the ninth, and Benji Molina, the batter. He's 0 for 3. He's grounded out 3 times after hitting for the cycle in last night's game. Here's ball 1. Low pitch game for both sides. A 2-1 Texas lead. Lackey goes 7 innings, giving up 2 runs. Hard and shutout inning, and so far Cliff Lee has given up only 4 hits and a run through the first 8 innings. And has retired the last 11 batters in a row. Red Sox have had just 1 hit and 1 base runner since the first inning against Lee. It's a double by Mike Cameron in the 5th. Jerry, looking at this outing for Cliff Lee, we don't get to see him a great deal, but I mean, he pounds the strike zone, but do you see anything that is spectacular about what he is doing? I mean, the results are outstanding.
That's basically been fastball, cut, fastball, a slider here and there. And, you know, as you mentioned, Don, he just doesn't walk anybody, so you get a tendency as a hitter to go up there and he's swinging because you know he's not going to fall behind you in the count. You're not going to get many hitters counts with Cliff Lee on the mound.
This is to third on one hop. Beltre gets it in the midsection. The throw is low, but Euclid digs it out. Again, as we head to the bottom of the ninth, Scutero, McDonald, Ortiz expected 2-1 Texas. Well, it was Josh Hamilton who tied the game with a single in the sixth inning. After the Red Sox had a 1-0 advantage, it tied up 1-1. But then Nelson Cruz with a single to center field. He would put the Rangers on top, scoring Vladimir Guerrero. And the pitching has been outstanding by Cliff Lee. One run it came in the first inning. He has shut down the Red Sox ever since. He's retired the last 11 batters he's faced in a row and is at 85 pitches as he gets ready to go for his second complete game in the Texas Rangers uniform in the ninth inning. And as he starts this ninth, just in case, the closer for the Rangers, we saw in last night's game, Neftali Feliz. He was warming up. It's Scutero, McDonald, and Ortiz in the ninth. It's a side day for Tim Wakefield. And it looks like he's taking advantage of that right now. Scutero stands in and takes strike one. Now, Wakefield has been in the pen all night. And the thought process was if Lackey ran into trouble in tonight's game, of course, Tim Wakefield only threw 2 innings in the first game of the series and could have come into this game. But since he did not, he's now getting that side work. This is into center field and a good start to the bottom of the ninth inning for Boston. Just their second hit since the first inning.
Marco Scutero taking the fastball right back up the middle for the base hit. We'll see if the Red Sox go into the sacrifice mode right now with Dono McDonald at the plate.
Breaks up a string of 11 in a row, retired by Lee. Darnell McDonald, a double back in the first inning. Since then, he's grounded out to short, grounded out to third. It is a sacrifice bid, and it's fouled off. Mentioning earlier that Cliff Lee has a chance to become the third pitcher to toss consecutive complete games. The first 2 starts in a Rangers uniform. Fergie Jenkins in 1974 did 9 straight. Give you an idea how many complete games there were then. And Mike Smithson did it back in 1982. 2 straight. And a soft toss to first, and Scudero gets back easily. But the Red Sox have other ideas. McDonald squaring again to first baseman Davis, who fires to first, and it's Lee who applies the tag. Kinsler was covering the bag, but kind of cutting off the throw that time was Lee. Sacrifice complete as Scudero to second base.
It's strange to see the throw taken here by Cliff Lee. Fielded by Davis, he goes down to one knee. He's looking for Kinsler, but Lee takes it and tags on McDonald. But McDonald gets the job done, gets that tying run in a scoring position.
Sets the table for David Ortiz with 1 out. Ortiz has singled in the first, grounded out in the 4th, and struck out in the 6th inning. First base open as Ortiz stands in. David takes ball 1. Gondo has joined Feliz in the pen. David Ortiz, 6 for 23 in his career against Cliff Lee. 1 out in the 9th. Tying run at second base. Ortiz fouls it off, and it's 1-1. Scudero, just the second base runner for Boston since the first inning, as he stands at second base with 1 out in the 9th. In tight ball 2. Swing and a miss. The elevate Ortiz chases. It was well up, and it's 2-2.
We don't see many teams, we look at this swing and a miss by Ortiz, play him to pull that much in the outfield as the Rangers are. There's a big gap in left center field for Ortiz. You see the pull in the infield all the time, but not that much in the outfield.
Outside, ball 3. This is only the second 3-ball count of the night for Cliff Lee. He's now at 94 pitches. 4 innings in which he threw under 10 pitches. In the air, foul down the left field line, out of play. Leadoff single by Scudero, the sacrifice bunt for Darnell McDonald. Scudero at second base. David Ortiz looking for some of that magic from the past. 3-2. Ortiz flares a foul.
Those some nasty pitches he's fouling off right now, too. They're strikes, and they're on the outside corner. And Ortiz is able to cover the corner and foul them off.
17 career walk-off hits, 11 of them are home runs. Three-two pitch. Ortiz into the shift. It is Kinsler throws to first for the out as Scudero takes third. And the tying run 90 feet away with 2 outs.
This will be interesting to see if they let Lee finish this game with 2 outs, try to finish it with Youkilis, or go to their excellent bullpen, their excellent closer for Lees.
Youkilis tonight against Lee is 1 for 3, singled back in the first inning. It's lined out to left, grounded out to short. Lee at 97 pitches and being given the opportunity to finish it off. Scudero at third base represents the tying run. Youkilis takes ball 1. There's a strike, 1-1. 6 strikeouts in the game tonight for Cliff Lee. Of course, he's not walked anybody. And only 6 on the season. Youkilis into left field, a base hit. Scudero from third. Game tied at 2 as Youkilis heads for second. The throw is not in time, and the Sox tie at 2-2.
Youkilis gets the fastball inside and rifles it down to left field. Right by Michael Young at third base. Youkilis standing at second base, the potential winning run. But after all these innings of not being able to do anything, the Red Sox can tie this ball game in the ninth.
An even 100 pitches for Cliff Lee. Youkilis at second base, 2 down. Adrian Beltre, the batter. So they stay with Lee for Youkilis. They stay with Lee to put on Beltre. And they'll go after J.D. Drew, the left-hander, waiting on deck. The first base open.
Now, J.D. Drew had come into this game 2 for 4 in his career off Cliff Lee. He is 0 for 3 in the ball game tonight.
And he's hitting at just 176 against lefties this season. As the free pass is complete and down to first goes Beltre. Red Sox getting a run in the first, a run in the ninth, and looking to win this in the ninth. Drew is 0 for 3 tonight. So he's flied out, fouled out, lined out. Chopped right side. Kinsler's got it. He goes to first, and we go to extra frames. Bonus baseball from Fenway Park, tied at 2. Wendy's, you know when it's real. Kevin Youkilis able to tie this game 2-2 as we head to the 10th inning. And the Red Sox getting to Cliff Lee for that tying run after not having scored against him since the first inning.
A big base hit in that inning was that leadoff hit by Scudero. It kind of changed everything. They get a chance to sacrifice. And then, of course, Youkilis got to hit against Lee and got that double to drive in the tying run.
Red Sox 2-7 in extra innings. Rangers are 5-3. It is Chris Davis to lead it off as Papelbon into his second inning of relief through just 12 pitches in the first, and gets that one by and a foul tip to Davis. So John Lackey, who pitched very well here tonight for the Red Sox, not part of the decision. He had been on the hook, but off the hook now with a run scored by Boston in the 9th. Davis fouls it straight back, and it's 0-2. Seven innings for Lackey, 2 runs on 7 hits. A walk, 3 strikeouts. Bard went an inning, giving him no hits, no runs. He walked a batter. It's up high, ball 1, 1-2. Davis fouls it off to the left, and it's still 1-2. On the ground right side. Hall at second base. 1 down in the 10th. Well, a reminder to stay with us after the game for WB Mason's Extra Innings Live. Complete post-game coverage is coming up as the Red Sox have tied this game 2-2 in the 9th. Have 1 out in the 10th, and Julio Bourbon coming up. Actually, he's being called back. He was almost to beyond the batter's box when he was called back. David Murphy will bat for him. Murphy with 264, 3 home runs and 25 runs batted in. He started last night's game, was 0 for 4 in the game with an RBI. A little flare to shallow left out as Scudero gives way to McDonald, 2 down.
Well, so far in this game, Papelbon really has used all of his pitches. His fastball, which he did right there. He's used his split-fingered fastball, also his slider.
Two outs in the 10th. Elvis Andrus 0 for 4. He has grounded out 3 times and struck out. His struggles continue at the plate. And a swing and a miss for strike 1. This now in his last 25 at bats. Alexei Gondo continues to warm in the pen. He was up along with Neftali Feliz last inning. They stayed with Cliff Lee, and Lee gives up the game-tying run. In the bottom of the 9th inning, Kevin Youkilis drives in Marco Scudero. Andrus lines it to first. Duclas makes the grab. A quick inning for Papelbon. Tied at 2 to the bottom of the 10th we go. Brought to you by New England Toyota Dealers, Olympia Sports, the official sporting goods retailer of the New England Sports Network, Sullivan Tire, and by Southwest Airlines. 2-2 the score as we head to the bottom of the 10th inning. Defensive changes for the Rangers as David Murphy, actually Josh Hamilton moving from left field to center field. And David Murphy in the game in left field as he had pinch hit for Julio Bourbon. It is a 2-2 game, and a new pitcher on for Texas as Mike Cameron stands in. And it's a fly ball out towards right field. Nelson Cruz going back at the wall, makes the catch at the wall to Rob Cameron and the Red Sox. What a grab by Cruz, reaching into the Boston bullpen.
Now, pretty impressive for a visiting player here at Fenway Park to go to the Red Sox bullpen and make a play like this. It looked like it had enough when it left the bat from Mike Cameron, but Nelson Cruz covers a lot of ground right up against the wall and takes a home run away.
Cameron stunned as he's out number 1 of the 10th inning. Bill Hall 0 for 3. Takes strike 1 over the outside corner from the new pitcher, Alexei Agondo. 14th appearance, 3-0, 0.54 ERA. Opponent's hitting at just 161 against him, and a real scare there for him as Mike Cameron almost put one into the Boston bullpen. Ball with a swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. He was 0 for 3 tonight against Cliff Lee. Leaving after 9 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, and it was intentionally. Adrian Beltre struck out 6. And a no decision tonight as he tried to go the distance. On the ground to third base. Young's got it. Hall is out number 2 of the inning.
Tomorrow at noon, Heidi Watney's lineup includes the top 5 games of the first half, Ortiz home run heroics, and much more. The Ultimate Red Sox Show Sunday presented by Arbella Insurance Group. Arbella Insurance, here for good.
2 outs in the 10th. And it is Dusty Brown. That's for the first time. Joey Francona had pinch hit for Kevin Cash in the 8th inning. Ryan Sheely flied out. Brown takes ball 1 away. Brown made his major league debut over 2 stints with the Red Sox last year. It's 1 for 3 with a home run, a walk, and 6 games behind the plate. Manny Del Carmen, who was also part of a move tonight, activated from the DL. Warms up in the pen again, second time tonight. It's a strike on the outside corner, and it's 1-1 to Brown. Brown on the DL this year with a left thumb sprain from June 17th through July 14th. Down and in, 2-1. In 52 games for the Paw Sox, 5 home runs, 24 runs batted in. Euclid, the reason we are here, tying the game with an RBI double in the 9th. Strike 2, 2-2 to Brown.
Slider that time to Dusty Brown, picks up the outside corner.
Brown pops it up left side of the infield. Andrus, the shortstop, stride on the outfield grass, makes the catch that ends the inning. We head for the 11th, tied 2-2 from Fenway. Wendy's, you know when it's real. It's on to the top half of the 11th inning back at Fenway Park, tied 2-2. And fresh off the disabled list, activated tonight is Manny Del Carmen, his 34th appearance, 2-2 record with a 4.59 earned run average. And opponents hitting at 220 against Del Carmen. Placed on the DL back on July 2nd with a right forearm strain. A just 1 rehab start with AA Portland on Thursday. Sat in Britain, and he tossed 1 perfect inning. After that, he had really a tough stretch. Career high 5 runs, 4 hits in his last appearance back on June 30th, and it was clear then that Manny Del Carmen was not right Indians, who had given up runs in 5 straight outings. He's got Hideki Okajima warming up behind him and Scott Atchison. As we play here in the 11th inning, and Michael Young leads it off for Texas. Young taps it foul, 1-1. Young grounded out in the first and third innings, lined out to center field in the 6th, and walked in the 8th. Chop to third. Beltre rounds in behind it. Throw in time for out number 1 of the 11th. Don't forget after the game to stay with us for Granite City Electric Red Sox final. It's coming up from our Nesson HD Television Center. And John Lackey back in the dugout. No decision tonight. 7 strong innings, giving up 2 runs. And Lee on the other side, they were matched up in a very good pitcher's duel tonight. So Lee goes 9 innings, giving up 2 runs of his own. And the big one, a 2-out RBI double by Kevin Youkilis that scored Scudero to tie the game 2-2. As Lee ends up going 9 innings. Here's Ian Kinsler with 1 out in the 11th. He takes ball 1. Kinsler has singled twice tonight, a 2-for-4 showing. To third again. Beltre has got it again. And the throw is good again. 2 down in the 11th. Dunkin' Donuts is in its 11th year of hosting local youth groups and charitable organizations in the Dunkin' Dugout. Special seating section at Fenway Park. Thousands of children have had the chance to catch a Boston Red Sox home game thanks to Dunkin' Donuts. And enjoying bonus baseball here tonight from Fenway Park. 2 outs in the 11th. Vladimir Guerrero has struck out, singled, walked, and grounded into a double play. As he takes ball 1 inside.
Del Carmen make something like 9 pitches on his rehab stint?
Yes, very quick, just 1 inning. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-1.
Guerrero expecting to get a fastball on the 1-0 count. Did not get it. Got the curveball from Del Carmen and the wild swing.
Coming in with a fastball at 94, and it's fouled off. 1-2. Red Sox have the top of their order up in the bottom of the 11th inning. Scudero, McDonald, Ortiz, and if anybody get on, Youkilis again. Same crew that was able to tie the game in the 9th. 1-2 to Guerrero. On the ground right side, and diving is Hall from his knees. Throws out Guerrero. Well, we've seen some defense tonight, both sides. We're into the bottom of the 11th, tied at 2.
Boss Centers for friendly experience guidance. Find the showroom at frankweb.com.
2-2 ball game as we head to the bottom of the 11th inning. Top of the Red Sox order, Marco Scutaro. We got the 9th inning rally started with a single off Cliff Lee as he takes ball one in 97. It's away from Agondo. The hit in the 9th for Scutaro, his first of the night, as he has had a 1-for-4 night. That's in there for a strike, 1-1. Agondo came into the game in the 10th inning at a 1-2-3 10th. Darren Oliver just starting to warm up in the pen. Fouled off, 1-2. Agondo throwing hard, 97 miles an hour.
We mentioned this the other night. They do have some guys that come out of that bullpen that can really throw hard. And Agondo is certainly one of those.
Up high, 2-2. Wade, full count. Darren Oliver has been joined by the sidewinder Darren O'Day. Alexei Agondo had 3 strikeouts here on Thursday. Three-two pitch. It's outside, ball 4. Lead runner on for the Red Sox in the 11th. And again, it's Scutaro.
Time now for a look at the road ahead, brought to you by Safeco Insurance. Tomorrow to be a pair of lefty. C.J. Wilson gets the ball for Texas. It'll be his second start of the year against the Red Sox. For Boston, it'll be John Lester, who is 3-0 in his last 3 starts. Lester is 2-0 in 5 career starts against Texas.
Conference at the mound. Mike Maddox, the pitching coach out there.
And we got pretty much the same situation we had in the 9th inning when you had the leadoff man on in Scutaro, and Donnell McDonald will probably be asked to bunt.
Got it down in the 9th. Sacrifice was successful to get Scutaro to second base. And a long conversation while they were meeting at the mound between McDonald and Tim Bogard, Red Sox third base coach. Everybody on the same page. 7 sacrifice bunts on the year. Throw to first, and McDonald began to square. Darnell had a double back in the first inning. Pulls back and takes a strike. 96 miles an hour in there for a strike. 0-1. Check, and Scutaro back to the bag. Redondo has allowed just 1 run in 16 2/3 innings in 13 games since being called up from Oklahoma City on June 12th. The bunt is down. Redondo is going to go to second base, and it's going to hit the runner. Scudero will scamper towards third. Murphy will throw to second base. Everybody's safe, and the winning run is just 90 feet away. Redondo thought he could get Scudero at second, and he hits him with the throw instead.
Foolish play there by the Texas pitcher. He really did not have a chance to get Scudero at second base. Instead, he tries to rush it and has the ball hit off Scudero. So a big break for the Red Sox. I don't even think if he makes an accurate throw down, he's going to get him at second base.
Molina having an equipment change here. New shin guards brought to him as full-fledged conference going on at the mound at second and third. Nobody out in the 11th. A golden opportunity for the Red Sox and David Ortiz coming up.
Well, that should go as a sacrifice and an error on the pitcher, I would think.
It did. Bullpen has been called.
Well, they're going to put Ortiz on first base here, load the bases, pull everybody in the outfield and the infield.
And it will be another chance for Kevin Youkilis. Youkilis tying the game with his double in the 9th. Now the chance to win it in the 11th. Lee nothing but a spectator now after his 9-inning effort, giving up just 2 runs. And the tying run in the bottom of the 9th. Down to first goes Ortiz. Bases loaded, nobody out. Ron Washington coming out. Game tied 2-2 in the 11th inning. The pitching change from
Meeker Insurance. And Meeker Insurance is not just how you're covered, it's how you're treated. And in the ninth inning, Kevin Youkilis gets a fastball right down the middle and hooks it for the game-tying base hit.
Darren O'Day into the game. 42nd appearance, a 1.45 earned run average. Opponents hitting only 200 against him. Bases loaded, nobody out. The situation that he is presented with. Infield in all the way around for Texas. As you just saw, Youkilis tie the game in the ninth. Here he is in the 11th. Scudero at third represents the winning run. It's ball one away. For Youkilis against O'Day, who's 2 for 6 with 2 singles and a run batted in. O'Day 16 2/3 consecutive shutout innings over his last 17 appearances. In a tough spot here. Strike one over the outside corner.
Stays with the slider, back-to-back sliders to Youkilis to start him off with the bases loaded. First slider outside, second one on the corner.
Way outside this time, 2-1. Youkilis with 2 hits tonight, the double that tied the game in the ninth, but he also singled in the first. The 2-1. Youkilis lifts it in the air to center field. Hamilton is back. Scudero's getting ready. Hamilton catches it. Scudero towards the plate. The throw is late. The Red Sox walk off with a win. They come from behind, and the Red Sox win it 3-2.
Kevin Youkilis gets himself ahead in the count. He gets the fastball out over the plate and certainly deep enough to center field to get that winning run home. So Youkilis, the hero in this ball game, tying it and winning it for the Red Sox.
Red Sox able to win in 11 innings. The sacrifice fly, a 3-2 Red Sox walk-off victory as they win Game 3 of this series.